Hi Libra, my name is Gregory Scott and this is your astrology forecast for August 2015. So thank you for joining me. It's nice to be with you today. I'm going to give you a really detailed rundown of what's coming up. Okay, so I'm going to get started straight away. The first thing that happens for you, my dear Libra, is that Venus goes into Leo on the 1st of the month. Okay, so Venus was in Virgo for the last couple of weeks, which it's not particularly happy being in, and now it's in Leo. It's in your 11th house, and what that does, it kind of ignites you, Libra, in becoming a little less considerate of the needs of everybody else, and I think it focuses in on you a little bit. So you start to think of how can you make this month better for yourself? How can you enjoy yourself more? What can you do that will fulfill your own hopes and dreams? And I think that's really positive. I think you start to think about yourself in terms of what can I do for myself here? How can I progress? How can I have a good time? Which is great. At the same time, there's a T-square in your chart, and a T-square is an area of real motivation with a solution to it. And I really feel that you have the financial structure in your life right now to actually let your hair down a little bit and to be able to socialize and to be able to explore love and to enjoy the summer if you're in the northern hemisphere, to you know, enjoy the luxury, for instance, of sitting at the pub in the afternoon in the sunshine and just chatting all afternoon. Something like that. I really think that you have the means to just socialize, relax, and have a really good time. On the 3rd of August, there's a grand trine in water that happens in your chart. And that is, again, between the security and structure you feel in your finances, the security and structure you feel in your working life, and the feeling that you're achieving what you want to achieve in your working life, in your career. I really feel that you're very much on track in terms of your job. Even if you're not on track, on the 3rd of August, it feels like you are. You feel very satisfied with your lot. You feel very satisfied with your work, with your money the way it is, and I think you're very, very pleased with all of that. At the same time, on this day, Pluto is in your 4th house, and it's in retrograde. It's been in retrograde since April the 16th, and it stays in retrograde until the end of September, the 24th. And when Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, is in retrograde, it means it almost like it sucks things out, it sucks negativity out. And I really feel that some of the negativity in your family life and some of the negativity you felt about your financial life, even though there is structure in it, it might be that you feel that it's not enough or that it's a little bit boring. I really feel that you stop looking at those things so much and you stop being conscious of them and you focus on enjoying yourself and spending time with friends. So it's almost like on the plus side, you're much happier and you're not dwelling on negative things on your life. On the negative side, it could be that you check out and you abandon your responsibilities a little bit at the end of the month. Oh, I don't care about the debts. I don't care about what my family say about me seeing the wrong kind of person. I'm just going to go for it. You know, that's the negative side of it. So a little bit of consideration, I think, is good, but I truly think that you have the right idea. I think you're entitled to enjoy yourself. The finances are fine. You're solid. Your family, there is some negativity that's going on. That is not just entirely your problem. You can enjoy this time and enjoy and be happy. On the 5th of August, the moon trines Jupiter. And it does that in your 11th house of social life and hopes and dreams, and also your 7th house of relationships. So very, very harmonious for you to enjoy yourself with friends, especially to do things very differently. So maybe taking a trip that you never thought you would with a bunch of friends. Doing something spur of the moment, doing something really spontaneous and not planned out, and just for the fun of it. That, you know, this is what this sounds like. It sounds very youthful, it sounds very innocent, and it sounds like the kind of magical summer that we all remember. You know, I don't know about you, but I remember summers when, like for instance, when I was 17 and have these magical weekends, and the sun was shining, and I'd be around people that I knew or I didn't know, but it was just like the world felt like it was a friendly place. It felt like it opened up, and it felt like I was in exactly the right time, and I was having the time of my life. And that's the kind of thing I see here for you, that you can tap into that energy. On the 7th of August, the sun squares the moon. And what that does is it actually gives you a very clear, you're actually a very good judge of character at the moment, especially on the 7th, because you can see your friendships and you can see the good side of things, but you can also see the potential pitfalls. So it's not like someone has pulled the wool over your eyes. You know what's going on, so you can trust your own judgments. So you don't need to worry about being taken for a ride, you know, in a metaphorical sense. Mercury goes into Virgo on the 8th, and again, that is confirmation that your communication is very clear, it's very reliable, it's very practical. It's in your 12th house of spirituality and the bigger picture. You know what's going on, so it's safe for you to let your hair down and to enjoy yourself without fear of things going awry or belly up. There's also a grand trine happening here, a kind of grand trine. It's missing the last line by 1 degree, but that doesn't mean that the energy doesn't affect you. And what that says is there's going to be a big push and pull between what you want to achieve in terms of your finances, how you see other people playing a role in that, actually working with people versus having fun with them, and really taking your life and making it something that is not just conservative or mundane or the way you think it should be, but the way you want it to be. So I really think you break out of that cage of conformity and you really follow your own gut. You know, it's like the difference between someone being responsible while they're at home and having fun when they're on holiday. Both sides of that person are real, and they're activated at different times, and I really feel that right now you want to be enjoying yourself. Why not go on a holiday at the beginning of August? All of these things are perfect for it. And go on a holiday with your friends. Mars moves into Leo on the 9th. The theme of wanting to socialize and to be around people gets even stronger now. So the trend is going towards more socializing rather than moving away from it. And on the 11th of August, the moon trines Neptune, and it does that between your 6th houses and your 10th houses. I really feel that through all of this socializing, you get an idea of how to realize your working ambitions. So this isn't wasted socializing. This is socializing for the sake of creating more career success. So whether that's networking and getting a job through sitting in a beer garden with one of your friends, I mean, that's that happens all the time. You know, knowing the right people is so important these days, or, you know, always has been, but it is important. And I really think that this social life that you're going to engage in is really going to be beneficial to you in your working life. So don't ever feel guilty about that, especially not at the beginning of August. Now, on the 12th of August as well, yes, I'm getting to the 12th of August, yeah. Between the 12th of August and the 19th of August, Mercury forms a relationship with Pluto. And what that does is, I really feel that you replace, I think you're a little bit fed up with your family constantly griping at you. I think you might feel like your family are putting you down, or they're not supporting you in the way they should. And the answer, the solution to that is not necessarily making your friends your family, because that's a very different relationship. Families often gripe at you and seem to put you down because they want the best for you most of the time, you know? I really don't think you're going to be in a headspace where you're going to be putting up with a lot of that. And it's not about, like I said, replacing friends with family, but it's replacing faith, a kind of connection with the universe, the greater meaning for your life. If you have to replace your family with anything, replace it with that. Because if anyone wants only good for you, it's the universe. Because the universe loves you. It's made of love, you're made of love. And by connecting with that, that's a safe retreat to move into. On this day as well, Jupiter moves into Virgo. And that's significant because it stays there for a year until the 10th of September 2016. And Jupiter is the lucky planet of good fortune. And it's in your 12th house. And it's next to Mercury. And that house is spirituality. So for you, Libra, the next year, the greatest luck is going to come by taking practical action in your spiritual life. I don't know if you're spiritual already, if you feel like you have a daily practice, if you have a great connection with your higher power, or if you're a complete atheist. If you're a complete atheist, I really feel that you're going to make a lot of progress this year, whether you want to or not. I think certain things will happen to you that will make you think, maybe there is something bigger. You know, you're not being forced to that. You've got a choice within that. You can consider it and say, well, nah. Or you can say yes. But I really think that in a year's time, you will have a different spiritual outlook perspective than you do this year. And that's where the luck factor comes in, because spirituality is important, because that's where the source of all good is from. The people who are most focused on the body and most focused on this plane often have the most difficulties of this plane. Because when you look to spirit and you detach a little bit from the earth realm, that ironically the earth realm gets better. It's a cruel fact of life. The new moon occurs on the 14th, and that's in your 11th house of friendships again. So real desire to socialize, and particularly on this day, I would suggest that you do socialize because you can heal a past disappointment in your working life. If you were passed up for a promotion, or if you aren't in the job that you're meant to be in, or whatever, you can kind of meet someone who will either help you come to terms with that past disappointment, or to amend it by offering you that opportunity now. To heal the past, basically. On the 15th, Jupiter starts to oppose Neptune, and it does that until the 13th of October, so 2 months, okay? And Neptune is the dream planet of what can happen, of aspiration, and Jupiter is the good luck planet of good fortune. However, so in modern astrology, Neptune rules Pisces, which is spirituality, but in ancient astrology, Jupiter ruled Pisces as God, as spirituality, philosophy, theology, the higher realms. Those two oppose each other in your very earthy 6th house and your very spiritual 12th house, so it couldn't be placed any better. And for you, the big theme, the big question over the next 2 months, what's realer? The real world or the spiritual world? Which one is more important? I have an opinion on that. I want you to figure it out for yourself. That's going to be your question for the next 2 months. And I think I've given you kind of clues to which way I'm leaning anyway. So it's not that much of a secret, but have a think about that. That's going to be a big theme. On the 18th of August, the moon goes into Libra. The moon moves very quickly through the chart. Every 2.5 days it changes sign. And on the 18th of August, it's going to be in Libra, in your sign, okay? It's going to be in your house. You're going to feel very much at peace, very much at ease within yourself. And it actually sextiles your midheaven and your Mars in the 11th house of social relations, of hopes and dreams. And I think that the thing that you've been looking for with all this socializing, the sense of belonging, the sense of knowing that you're loved, this sense of fun, knowing that you're living your life to the full, expressing your creation, your ability to create, your passion, your enthusiasm, that's a need, okay? That's a human desire. When we feel passionate, we're not going to go sit in front of the TV and veg. We want to do something, we want to create, and that's an aspect of humanity. And you, on the 18th, you really feel like you've achieved that. I think there's going to be a sense of catharsis, there's going to be a sense of satisfaction. So you'll have a great day, basically, because it's about having fun and being joyous and enthusiastic. And because you get that sense of catharsis, you will actually have that fun and you will get to where you want to go. Okay. On the 20th, the moon is on your ascendant in the 2nd house, and it trines Neptune. And now I really think that you've reached that point of completion in terms of the socializing, and now you start to dream about what you could do with the working life situation. How am I going to make the money I want to make? What am I going to do to progress in my career the way I want to progress, and how can I make that a reality? How can I make that happen? So it's a real shift in perception around this time of the month. Then on the 23rd, there's another T-square, great motivation. The question between earth and spirit comes up again. Also, how am I going to make my dreams in terms of my work become a reality? And the answer to that is by communicating, by talking to people who've been there, who've done that, people who have been successful in their work, people who have had a dream of opening their own business, or friends who have wanted to have, who wanted to move to a sunnier climate and live and work there. You know, there's a video on YouTube which is advertised to death. It's this guy. He's very good looking. He's always sitting on a boat, with some islands and some palm trees. I don't know what it's about. I've just literally, because it's an ad, I literally seen 30 seconds. But he's always saying, oh, you know, you could live in Mauritius as well and work from home and have this fabulous life. And that's a big thing. People want to do that, you know, especially in the technology age where you can work from different places. So if you have that kind of desire and that dream, then speak to people who have this shared desire, who've achieved it, maybe who are on the same journey of achieving it. But things are becoming clearer for you. What's the spiritual truth of my life? Not just as a concept, but in terms of how does spirituality apply to me? Where does it want me to go? What am I doing with my life? What are we doing with our lives? You know, me and the universe, what are we supposed to be doing? That's a theme, and it's about communicating to get more clarity. Between the 20th and the 23rd are the best days to discuss those kind of things. On the 24th, there's a grand trine in fire. And that's really when you hit the nail on the head with all of this. You figure it out. So big changes for you, Libra. Big change in direction, possibly. You know, if you're doing something that's completely meaningless to you and you're not happy, this is a wonderful month to discover that higher calling, that purpose. You know, if you're just working as a temp, not just, I mean, I'm not minimizing being a temp worker, but being a temp worker, you don't get a choice often in terms of what it is you're doing. You're just being given the work. So if you are a temp worker and you don't feel fulfilled by that, then this month, Libra, it's a great time, especially around the 20th to the 23rd, 4th, 5th. It's a great time to ask yourself those questions. What am I going to do in future? And what does Spirit want me to do? That's the key. On the 26th, yeah, okay, I've looked at that. 28th, so that theme continues through the end of August. So I've mentioned it, it's from 20th onwards, really. Ask yourself those questions in the week from the 20th to the 27th. On the 28th, Mercury goes into Libra, into your sign. So now communication is much better for you, much clearer for you, because it's in your sign. Okay, the communication feels very comfortable. So what that indicates to me is that you find some of the answers here that you've been looking for. You get some of the niggling doubts and the ideas figured out, and you start to move forward in terms of what it is you want to do. You come across very well, you communicate clearly and effectively, and not only that, you communicate with yourself. Mercury is in Libra. The next day, on the 29th, there's a full moon in Pisces, and that, again, happens in your 6th house of daily routine. It's one of the work houses. What do I do on a day-to-day level? So work, you know, where do I spend my every day? And this is a really beautiful blossoming. Now, the full moon is a culmination of all of these themes that you've experienced throughout the month of August, the things that you've been pondering. They all come to a head, and that flower that blossoms, think of the moon as a flower in the sky blossoming, heals the pain that you've experienced there. It's like a chamomile flower, soothing, and I'm serious, I'm not making a joke here, it's kind of soothing the aches and pains that you've experienced in your working life and your lack of purpose. Because, you know, as human beings, we want to have a goal, we want to feel like we're doing something that's making a difference, we want to have meaning in our lives. And if we're just wandering around aimlessly and trying to make ends meet, that's a real sense of frustration. You know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's a pyramid, the bottom is physical needs, food, shelter, friendships. Then we need family relationships, feeling of being loved. Then it's work, purpose, and then at the very end it's spirituality. So we go through these processes, and by having this blossom now, having this awareness enter your consciousness, you heal some of that pain that you've experienced in one of those sectors of your life. Then finally the month ends with a Yod, a finger of God, in your chart here. It's between Pluto and your 4th. All of this energy in your 6th house of work that I've already mentioned, and it connects with your social life. It connects with all of the socializing you've been doing. The solution to your problem with your family at the moment, the solution to your problem with your lack of direction in work, is to connect with your friends and to socialize and to spend time talking and figuring it out with other people. You will conceive new ideas, you will conceive a new path forward for yourself, Libra, by doing it with others, not alone, by reaching out and by talking to other people. And I really think that by the end of August, you're going to have a lot more answers than you did at the beginning of August, and I think you're going to be much clearer on your purpose than you have been so far. Really, really. So this looks really good for you. I hope this has been useful. If you'd like a private reading with me to look at any of these themes that have come up, then please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can select a reading there and see the types of readings that I do. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/gregoryscott444, and you can also send me an email. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. I'm going to be with you daily here on this channel for the daily tarot readings, monthly for the astrology forecasts like this one, as and when for the special astrology videos that I do when significant things are happening, like the Jupiter in Virgo. I did a separate video on that. And then also the vlog if you're interested in that kind of thing. So have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you soon.